That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If they were to try and stop people at the door here, they would break it down, because this studio is packed. I went to get some more water. I had to crowd surf with a cup in my hand, get back to the chair so I could be casting here for you today. And I'm really looking forward to this next match.
It's crazy in here today, isn't it?
It is ridiculous.
I have never seen that many people in the studio.
The only time I've seen this many people in the studio is when it's like a semi-final with Nada, or you know, Nesty or something like that, or you know, something along those lines. So it is crazy in here today, and with good reason, because we have all been waiting with bated breath for the GSTL to start again, and it is finally back here, and I'm really enjoying it already. We're gonna get into game number 2 here in just a minute. Crank, our defending GSTL champion of all 1 games that have occurred so far this season, is going to be going up against FXO the Best.
Exactly, and I'm not too sure if the Best is actually the best choice, because I just pulled his record against Protoss, and he did not do all too well against Protoss. Actually, the last game, the last competitive game that is, that he won against Protoss was in August last year. He played... I have him with 4 games since then against Protoss, and I think he didn't win a single map. He lost to Oz, he lost to Ace, he lost to Huang Xing, and to Inori.
Yeah.
He might have been able to just practice his TVP quite a lot, or he has a specific strategy on dual side. We will see. But
or
from statistics,
or he's going to get his face owned in by Crank.
That's of course the
other
other
possibility.
But well, FXO obviously picked him for a reason.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Now, of course, teams often will throw out players that they want to get more experience, that they want to get more exposure as well. I mean, that's why we're seeing Crank. He's a little bit untested, but that's why you have to throw these players out there. They have to get tested somehow, right? And so Crank's doing really well so far, but maybe, you know, maybe I'm misjudging FXO the Best. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps he's practiced up a bit. I just remember not being terribly impressed by him the last time he was playing, and we're going to see if he has more to say this time. Map is going to be dual sight. By the way, the Hangul there at the bottom actually says dual sight.
You know it all.
I'm trying to teach you, man. Get you prepped for your lessons next week.
Give me a week.
Make you pass your test.
Make me pass my test.
All right, game number 2 starting right now at the GSL Team League.
And here we are at the left side of the map in the red color. We have the player from FXOpen. It is
FXO the Best.
All right, there he is. Really curious to see what we see out of him today, but over here at the right is the winner of the first game. New player coming out here showing his stuff.
Slayers, Crank.
Did you see that sick twist turn-in? Awesome.
I love the new videos, the overlays, and all those trailers. I really love that stuff. Whoever is responsible for it, big props. Awesome.
There is Crank. Throwing up a gateway. Now, by the way, I want to...
At 11, by the way.
I want to give you guys a little bit of info here in case you're wondering about the format. We actually have a little bit different format for the Team League this season. So the way it's going to work this season, if you guys haven't read about it already, on GOMTV.net, basically, it's like a double elimination tournament in a way. So the first matches are going to happen. So we have a match today and we have a match tomorrow, right? And then the winners of those matches will go to the round of 8 of the Team League. And by the way, if you do want to watch the whole Team League, make sure to go to gomtv.net/tickets. Check out all the options we have there. And then the double elimination comes in because the loser of the matches today and tomorrow will play against the losers of the matches next week. And then the winners of those will still get a chance to go into the GSTL round of 8. So you have to be beaten by 2 teams in a row to get completely out of the Team League. And if you win those games, you do go to the round of 8, and that's when you can get into the playoffs. And there are seeded teams from the winner and runner-up of the last season, I believe. I'm going to double check on that in a second. But the playoff players, maybe not actually. No, yes, yeah, they are seeded into the round of 8. So there you go. And so the 3 teams and the 4th team from last season are all going to go directly into the playoffs, and that's how it's working. So very important matches. It's not just like last season where, oh, you lose your first match, well, you can win the next 3 and you can still dominate your group. No, if you lose this, then you are 1 match away from being completely eliminated from the season. So very, very important that both teams get a head start and get into the round of 8 by winning their first match. Zealot running up there.
Yeah, talking a little bit about the game at hand, I have to say that Crank is taking quite a risk because he didn't scout at all. He didn't send out a probe scout, and usually, you know that the first Marine is roughly popping out at the 3-minute and 5 to 8 second mark. So you send out one of the probes early enough to scout if the Terran player is starting with gas, if he is starting with some kind of shenanigans. You try to scout the area around your natural expansion just to be sure that there's no proxy barracks. But Crank didn't do any of that. He didn't send a scout at all except for that Zealot. So yeah, taking quite a risk on a dual side, a map that it's known for its cheese opportunities.
Yep, especially a player like the Best, who we haven't seen much from lately and might not be in the best of practice, might not want to play a straight up strategy, but we do see him going for pretty normal stuff here so far. Getting a starport now. Interesting. Hey Caldor, I think
playing
let's count the number of barracks. There's 1. How many factories are there?
I don't know. Wait, I think there's 1.
How many starports now?
Half a starport?
Half a starport. All right, it's the 1-1-1/2 build.
Yeah, so that's definitely a typical build for dual side. 1-1-1 is very, very strong, especially since, as we already see, we have Slayer's Crank expanding now, and he has to be very careful. If he wants to be able to beat the 1-1 build of his opponent, then he needs to make sure that he cuts probes. He has to cut probes roughly at the 30-minute mark in order to have enough units to deal with this strategy of the Best, and then he should be able to hold the first push.
Right.
And already has an economic lead because he is saturating 2 mineral lines instead of 1.
Yep. Now, by the way, there are different kinds of, you know, what some people call 1-1-1 builds. This looks like it's just going to be your pretty run-of-the-mill Marine tank Banshee build is what it's going to be off of 1 base. And Crank scouts it. He sees exactly what's happening. He sees the reactor barracks. He sees the tech lob on the factory and the starport. Is he going to try to cancel it and try and switch over and defend, or is he going to try and defend his expansion? He is going to try and defend his expansion, and that could be dangerous for him to do. He's getting a robotics support bay up, and that is often one of the better ways to defend this build, because if you can get a Colossus out, you can do so much damage to those Marines, it can help you defend it. It's going to be close, though.
I would have actually expected him to build a little bit, a few more Immortals and try to get the Colossus a little bit later. We've seen a lot of TVPs on dual side.
Yeah, that's another way to deal with it.
Where a number of Immortals, like for example up to 2 or 3, well, 3 to 4 can actually help you quite a bit against that this push. We have the robotics bay done, but I'm not sure if he will have the extended thermal lens upgrade in time. He's starting with the first Colossus now, and we have him at 35 probes, and he's still building probes.
Interesting. Yeah, I would have thought maybe, well, I don't know, how many probes is he at? He's at 35, so he has a good amount of probes right now. And there's that Banshee coming in. It's going to take a couple of hits from those Stalkers and escape.
He doesn't start extended thermal lens yet.
Oh, here he goes.
Crank, that is.
He knows it. Crank knows that he's moving out. He's got his stuff on the low ground. Is he going to push? Is he going to bring SCVs? No SCVs, so he's just good. No, there he's bringing almost all of his SCVs.
There they are.
About a dozen SCVs are coming with this push. This is deadly. Slayer's Crank moving out onto the map with his forces. This is a good move. He wants to delay this push. He wants to force him to siege and unsiege over and over again to take longer to get to his base so he can have more units out. The first Colossus is on the way. And I'm sorry, the second Colossus is on the way.
Second is on his way. He doesn't have extended thermal lens, though. He is currently not building probes anymore. He cut probe production as soon as he realized that his opponent is moving out. And rather sooner than later, will the Best arrive at Crank's main base, sieging up already. The second Colossus is ready in just a few seconds, Moletrap.
Even sieging up his tanks in tiers so that they cannot just be taken out once. He's leapfrogging his tanks forward as he rallies the forces. so he cannot be caught unsieged. Scan goes down to see if there's an observer over his army. There is none anymore. If there was before, he's now within range of that Nexus. Crank has mere moments to deal with this, or he will lose his expansion and very likely the game.
We don't have extended thermal lands. The Banshees are sneaking in, sniping the first sentry. He needs to be careful. More and more probes get picked off, and this Nexus will fall.
He's just abandoning it. He's like, all right, well, I tried to mine what I could, but I'm just going to let it go. He's trying to hold the bottom of his ramp still, though. He needs to be careful of those tanks firing away at his stalkers. The Marines are still there as well, and they are just as deadly. Thermal Lance is half done right now. I guess he might be trying to stall for Thermal Lance so we can do a little bit more damage.
Did he really forget about
a little bit better position?
Oh! I thought it was really like a conscious decision, but so far it looks like he really just forgot about it.
What the? Okay, Crank has moved his whole army down here, and looks like he's going to try and... I don't know what he's trying to do, actually. A couple Zouts are actually going to sneak into the Best's main, but he has to deal with this army first and foremost. He's stopping reinforcements, but
Army supply is in favor of the Best now. 64 against 52. Those two Zealots trying to kill a couple of depots,
and this is it!
Yes, here we go, and most of the Marines already get obliterated, but at the same time the tanks from behind are doing so much damage. The Banshees join the battle, take down the first of those Colossi. Now actually trying to focus the Stalkers, the anti-air, so they had free reign, but he has to retreat just a tiny little bit more, and more tanks getting annihilated, and we still have some fighting Banshees, not enough Stalkers to take them down.
Oh, there's two Banshees with very, very low health, and that's why both players pulled back. Almost all the probes of Crank were slaughtered, but the Best brought most of his SCVs, and they were slaughtered by those Colossi as well. So we actually have a relatively even game here. The Best is at 51 supply. Crank is at 46, now 48. So things have kind of stabilized here, actually. In a way, that attack did so much damage. Those Thermal Lance Colossi were able to stand back and not get hit by anything but Banshees, and the Banshees weren't targeting them down, so they did so much damage. And look at that. The Best is forced to retreat.
But a huge problem now for... Well, the Best has the problem that obviously we have Crank already with 3 Colossi, and by now they have extended thermal lance. On the other hand, with a worker count of 20 to 20, the Best has the slight advantage of having the mule, so he has a better mineral income.
Slight advantage.
Yeah, a tiny little bit of an advantage. And of course, Crank, he lost his expansion.
It's true. He loses his expansion. Luckily, he was able to make enough extra probes with that expansion that despite losing about 10-15 of them in that battle, he still has a pretty full saturation on his main. And I like that move to throw those probes in there for that battle because he knew he had extra probes anyway, so that was good. And continue making them in the midst of that, so he's caught back up. So actually, what is the worker count? You may have just mentioned it, but I didn't catch it.
22 to 21.
There you go.
But the bigger problem for Crank now is that he is focusing a lot on attacking and taking down the tanks of his opponent. And we have the Best with a lot of Banshees. He already has 6 Banshees, and he's building F7, while we have Crank with only 7 Stalkers. He doesn't have any anti-air. There is just nothing that he can do. As soon as a few of those Stalkers die to the tanks, he can't do anything against the air army of the Best.
The Banshees could actually just focus down those Stalkers.
Oh, now...
And there's the Stargate.
Yeah,
yes, I was just thinking, you know what? Phoenixes would be perfect because even if they, you know, polish off all the Banshees, then they can start lifting tanks, taking out medevacs if they're around. Phoenixes would be perfect for this situation. I wasn't sure if he thought he could afford it, but he is going to try and switch up and get another expansion at the same time.
But the Best is attacking now, and this might be the best timing for him. He is just moving on now, trying to attack, and look at all those Banshees, 7 of them. He's building another one, and the Stargate is not done just yet. A few seconds are left. He will build Phoenixes, but will they be there in time? That's the main question. We only have 7 Stalkers and 2 Sentries. That's all the anti-air that he has.
Now, on the other hand, if he does use those 3 Colossus to kill all the Marines, then the Phoenix will reign supreme in the air. Here comes the attack, though. The Phoenix is not quite out yet. Banshee's targeting down the Stalkers while the Colossus do major damage to the Marines. There's only a couple Marines left. He kills all the Marines. The Zealots get in closer to the tanks, and the entire army of the Best has been obliterated. All the Stalkers are gone, but that one Phoenix will clean everything up before he takes major losses. And I think Crank has somehow managed to hold this off and secured the game. He now has a stupendous lead, 50 supply to 30, and the best on the run with one base almost mined out. I think Crank has done it. I think Crank has done it and clinched the game. It's not quite over yet, but it is close to so.
Just picture this battle without the Phoenixes.
Oh yeah.
Going for the Stargate was the perfect decision for Slayer's Crank, and the best, I have to say that his engagement, his unit management in the last engagements was not really, was not the best. I'm really sorry, but no pun intended, but I just couldn't help it. It's like, he should have focused those Colossi a little bit earlier. When you have so many Banshees, you can't focus them down with 2 volleys.
I mean, I kind of see what he was thinking, where he realized that if he did kill off all the Stalkers, then his Banshees could clean up everything and theoretically even win the game. So I can see why he might have gone, you know, even just having 3 Banshees alive or 2 Banshees alive at the end of that, he could just kill all of his probes and that would have finished it. Oh, the Manor Nexus going down outside. The 1 siege tank lifted into the air, letting the Zealots go right underneath it. GG coming from the best, and Slayer's Crank has taken a quick 2 games off of their opponents.
Yeah, and the best loss streak against Protoss, it holds. He has, well, I'm sorry, but that's how it is. Now he lost to 5 Protoss players in competitive games after in a row, and I'm really sorry, but Slayers is pulling ahead with 2-0 now.
Wow.
And FXO has to think about the next player they send out to beat Crank. This Protoss player from Team Slayers is sure doing a good job.
Yeah, man, he is doing an excellent job. I talked to Sella earlier about how Tasia all-killed his first GSTL appearance, and you know, I kind of joked about it. And he said, oh, well, if Crank wins the first game, we're expecting him to all-kill. And I was like, ha ha ha, oh ho ho. But, well, he's got 2 games.
Well, but he still has the big guns to come.
He has not faced the best players on FXO just yet, so he's definitely got his work cut out for him. But
Linok, Lucky, and Gumiho will probably have something to say about an all-kill.
Even though, I mean, despite that, starting off the series with 2 wins, I mean, he's earned his keep.
Yeah,
he gets dinner tonight at the Slayer's house, man, because he has definitely done his part already for the team, getting a couple early kills there.
Free Bulgogi for sure.
That's right.
Definitely. I didn't have Bulgogi since I came back. It's a shame.
We should go maybe tomorrow before the match or something like that. I was talking to Slog earlier, actually, that because I'm not at the GOM house anymore, I'm not there when everyone's like, hey, let's go have barbecue. So I haven't had barbecue very much lately. I need to go out and have some more of that.
Let's have Bulgogi tomorrow.
All right. Good plan.
I'm actually missing it. No, but I'm curious about who's going to be the next player to face Crank.
They got to send out someone big now. Probably, I think Lucky would be a good choice right now.
Yeah,
he's very strong versus Protoss. He's got a strong overall game, and then you're still saving your Lenok for the end.
Yep, exactly. I would actually like to see Lucky now. Of course, we have Oz as well. Let's not forget about Oz, but as we already mentioned earlier, using, well, PvP is kind of fragile, so forcing a PvP strategy is probably not what FXO is going to do, because it's always taking a little bit of a gamble. And therefore, let's see who FXO picks. I would love to see Lucky, but of course they have a really nice lineup. They have a lot of good players, and it could be anyone.
Yes, indeed. Very cool in general to see Slayers having a couple good Protosses now on their lineup. Who is it going to be?
Lucky.
It is Lucky. Will he be lucky enough to beat the undefeated Crank? They're talking to Crank right now over at the Slayers bench, telling him, trying to give him some last-minute coaching of what he can expect from Lucky, what kind of strategy he should go for, what kind of map it's going to be.
I'm still waiting for
Lucky is, of course, in Code A, ranking 83. So we've actually only seen Code B players so far, meaning that they're not in the GSL.
And Lucky has a 72% win ratio against Protoss.
Yeah, he's really strong versus Protoss. Really strong.
So let's find out if he can take the first game for his team for FXO. I want to know the map.
If Frank can take down Lucky, I will be impressed. It's not easy to impress me. You know, you might know that. A lot of times people are like, oh, this guy's so good. I'm like, all right, well, wait for him to win a GSL and then I'll be impressed. But, you know, if he's able to take out a Protoss, a Terran, and a Zerg in sequence of FXO's team, I'll give him some credit. I will give Frank some definite credit. But he's going to have his work cut out for him, man. Lucky's ZVP is so ridiculous.
And we have the invite, ladies and gentlemen. The map is going to be Belshire Beach. And while we're waiting for the players to join the lobby, I once again tell you that you should definitely check out GOMTV.net/tickets and check out the tickets for the GSTL so that you can experience the GSTL, the Team League, in HD.
Yes, indeed. We saw FXO Lucky taping his mouse pad down. Mouse pads are wily things. They have a tendency to try and run off in the middle of the game if you're being abusive to them. And
so probably Sasa has to nail his down to the table.
Probably. That guy puts a lot of energy in his mouse clicks. I'll give him that. FXO Lucky versus Slayer's Crank.
I don't know what mouse Sasa actually uses, and I'm not sure if it's the best mouse in the world, but I'm damn sure that it's the mouse that has to endure the most pain.
That's for sure.
No, Sasa, when he's training, you definitely know that he's training because he is just so rough with his hardware.
His mouse clicks would actually keep me awake when I was trying to sleep. That's how hard he clicks the mouse.
Yeah, he is just lettering it up the whole night. An awesome player, but we have two other awesome players right now. We have Lucky against Crank.